anytime we lose, it's disappointing. Specifically, losing at home is disappointing. Crowd was amazing again, so that sort of adds to the disappointment when they bring it and we can't come up with the result. Proud of our effort. I thought we competed at a high level. I thought Luke Hopp was amazing. Really gave us a chance. Guys made some plays to get back in it, but ultimately just couldn't make enough down the stretch to pull it out.
15 threes by them. Obviously, I can't imagine you thought they'd hit 15 threes, but when they hit 15 threes in the first 28 minutes of the game, I know it stopped after that, but what were the adjustments being made maybe to take them away from that?
Yeah, we went to switching early in the second half. Didn't execute all that ideally, and so that solution didn't really work. Some of those are execution on us. Some of those are tough shot making from them. Yeah, but I have to go back and we'll have to look at the film to see exactly where we came up short and all that.
And then I know sample size is kind of in all these questions, but it's 3 games in a row where you guys had subpar defense. Points per possession were pretty high for 3 straight games. Is this a matter of teams catching up to what you guys were doing defensively? Second time around for 2 of those teams. Are they just doing something different, or can you put a finger on why your defense has struggled for 3 in a row?
Yes, I don't have the specifics for why that's happening. Obviously, giving up 80, 90 points is not the recipe for us, and I think we know that. We felt that way at halftime, like giving up 43 in the first half. We had to have a better defensive effort, but we're not getting the stops we need right now. That's not just tonight. It's 3 in a row where we have not been able to limit the opposing offense at the level that we need to have success.
And then just because I don't want to forget, Luke Hopp has the game he has tonight and helps play winning basketball. You guys have 2 of those on this team, but Chris Howell hasn't played for a month. Is there any update? Is there a chance that he comes back this year?
That I don't have a definitive answer on if he'll make it back. He's had some setbacks along the way relative to his recovery, and we're getting to a point where it's not just the injury. Once he gets back, like the ramp up time to get back in shape to play at the level we need him to. So we're evaluating that, every day here as we go through it. But I don't have a definitive answer for you on that.
With Luke, obviously, he's here because you thought he could play at this level, but he's coming from Division II. So when he's having a night like tonight, what do you just think that says about the character, the basketball player, of a guy coming from that level and making the impact that he has here?
Yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you I anticipated Luke scoring 30 points in any game. Obviously, we needed it tonight, and he just sort of does what's needed on different nights. But I knew he was a good player. Have a ton of respect for the way he competes. I think everybody kind of sees it. I hope that our young guys are paying attention, because that's what college basketball looks like. It's to compete at a high level. Like, that's what we wanted him to bring here, and he's delivered on that all season long. We're talking about it because he scored 30 points, but sometimes he scores 3 and he's doing a lot of the same stuff. We had him guarding 22, we had him guarding 4, we had him, anywhere we had an issue, we tried to put him. He's a terrific player and a really impressive competitor, and he's the kind of person that everyone should want in their program because he's a winner.
Coach, a couple of fielders' threes came off screens, but a couple of them came when Tomislav just sank into the paint to help. Did Tomislav do the right thing there? Was that an adjustment that should have been made?
Yeah, he was playing the correct coverage. We didn't, some of that starts with guarding the ball, so it's usually not one person there. So we really struggled to beat screens, get back in front of the ball, and control the depth of the penetration. Like, if they get real deep on their penetration, then his recovery is much longer and a little cleaner looks for them. So we'll have to look to see, like, could he have gotten there sooner, but a lot of times that's relative to the depth of penetration that we try to emphasize in the middle third of the floor, and weren't able to execute at a very high level tonight.
Getting back to Luke, we haven't seen that kind of offense out of him all season. At any point when he started to get hot like that, did you just kind of re-diagram the offense just to get him more looks, or was that just him doing things on his own?
No, he's just playing. You know, I think he felt like he could find the offense and that we needed it, and he was just being aggressive. You know, so we weren't really like running stuff for him or anything like that. He found that himself.
And then their offense, I think you can expect almost like Andrews to have a night, or Meadow, or even Buchanan, somebody like that, to shoot threes. But when a 6'11" forward starts launching like that and hitting the way he did, at some point, I'm just curious what your reaction is to it, because I think I hear all the fans behind us like, who is this guy? Where's this coming from?
Yeah, I mean, he shoots threes, like he has decent volume, and I think he was averaging maybe a little over a make a game in conference at a pretty good percentage, 34, something like that. So we felt like, you know, we could live with some of those. Obviously that didn't work out. You know, sometimes when we make decisions about shots we're going to give up, and guys make them anyway. So those are decisions we got to live with when we make them. But you know, we'll have to look to see, like, were there things we could have done differently, probably, but we'd have to, you know, look back and see, you know, what those opportunities were for adjustments.
Coach, your offense outside of Luke was plenty good tonight. You guys were 1.5 possessions or points per possession. It seemed like you guys were trying to take advantage.
Did you say we were 1.5?
That's what I see right here, 1.5 points per possession. So that seems like it's pretty good. It seemed like you guys were trying to take advantage of switching and attack the basket really, really hard. Can you just speak to what you guys saw offensively to have the efficiency that you did?
Yeah, I thought I mean, this game couldn't have been much different from the first one, you know, where no one could make a shot or score any points, and, you know, until we fouled them at the end, the game was in the 50s. I thought Mikey Howell did a nice job with some adjustments from us offensively to create some advantages. We found Tomislav early on some of the short roll stuff, and he made some plays and found other guys. They went to switching at some point, not a common coverage for them. I thought in the first half it took us a little bit of time to identify some of the advantages. We missed Tomislav in the post. We missed some like boomerang opportunities to get, you know, Jake and Uriah versus their fives. I thought as it went on, we got Tomislav more touches, really had success when they doubled and we could play with advantage. Our guys are pretty good when we play with advantage. You know, but yeah, pleased with the offensive side of the ball. You know, we had 4 assists up there last time. We had 19 assists, 5 turnovers, 11 offensive rebounds. We're 40-14 in the paint. Like, a lot of the things that we're trying to do, we did, but ultimately it wasn't enough tonight.
And not to beat the horse dead on the three-point shooting, obviously Fielder had a good night shooting the ball, but they had 15 assists on 25 made field goals, and it seemed like, you know, with their size, they had to overhelp a little bit in the paint, and then they got some looks outside. Was that part of it as well? Yeah,
certainly they have some matchup. You know, they have a ton of positional size, and we played 3 guards at some point, so there's some pick your poison situations in some of that. We typically default to the paint, and you know, they made us pay for that, obviously. But you know, again, we did a lot of the things that we needed to do, and but you know, came up a few plays short. I'm sorry if there was another aspect of that question I didn't answer.
That was it, Coach.
It's hard to nitpick Jake. He had 19 points, but it did seem like they've concentrated on him quite a bit and seemed to relatively control Jake. I guess most of the game, maybe not all the game, because he did have 19. But what did they do differently? Was he just off in December when you went 1 for 10, or was there something different about tonight that he was able to make some of those?
I didn't think it was his best night in Boise up there. I think he probably, you know, he had some looks, and you know, again, that kid thinks he's gonna make every shot. So if you ask him, like, he probably doesn't feel like he shot a great tonight. But like, we got him 10 threes. That's good volume. If we consistently get him that kind of volume, I think he's gonna produce points. And again, 19 points on 13 shots is relatively efficient for him. He's an efficient scorer. You know, there's not a lot about the offensive side that I think we're going to look back at and have regrets. I think a lot of that's going to be on the defensive side.
Did they do much though that was a lot different on him?
It didn't feel like it.
And then lastly, yeah, I know you don't really look beyond the next game and all that, but this was a week you guys entered in first place, and you've lost 2 in a row now, and sort of have to kind of readjust, recalibrate a little bit. Fans do anyway, kind of expectations maybe in terms of where you guys may or may not finish. I'm curious how you approach that with the team. Were you ever talking about, hey, this is a first place game to enter the week, and this game means this, and this game means that? How do you guys, I guess, move forward now that that's been readjusted a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, it's not something we're talking about all the time. Like, hey, we're in this place, we're second place, we're third place. Like, that's not really the conversation. I think our guys know. You know what I mean? Like, they know the situation. You know, Boise is a very good basketball team, probably better than their conference record reflects. But they are where they are, and so for us, we've now dropped 2 to a team who's, you know, I don't think they're a bottom half team in our league relative to how good they are, but that's what the record says. So other teams that are ahead of us sort of have banked those wins. So we're in a situation now where we don't control our own destiny. Like, that's the difference. But our job is to just play good basketball regardless. We have to keep getting better. We have a good basketball team as well, and then we gotta fix some things defensively and try to respond here going to a tough environment in Grand Canyon.
With just a minute and a half to go, I believe, in a very crucial possession, Uriah took a 3-pointer, and was that how it was drawn up in that situation for him to take that shot?
I'm assuming you're thinking about the step back.
Yes.
Yeah. We didn't like specify this specific shot we want, but he got a switch onto I think Carmichael in that one, and he got a ton of separation, and you know, I thought relative to time and situation, that was a pretty quality look. So yeah, if you told me we could have that shot coming out, I would have signed up for it. Absolutely.
Coach, Grand Canyon, and have you got a chance to watch them this year? Obviously, you're going into a very pit-like environment. What are your expectations? I mean, how is the team going to respond?
I expect us to, you know, to respond appropriately, prepare the way we've been preparing with focus, have 2 good days of practice, and go and play good basketball. I mean, I have watched Grand Canyon. We played them the first time, so, you know, we prepared for them, and so yes, I've seen film on them.
Thank you, Coach.
Yeah.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.